Why are certain celebrities held to a different standard? Serious question. The first person that comes to mind is Cardi B. It is a well-known fact that during her days as a stripper, she drugged and stole money from her clients repeatedly. I'm just wondering why someone with such a disturbing past is allowed to continue being in the limelight. Does this type of behavior not bother people? If someone else did this, would they not be immediately cancelled? I'm just a bit puzzled. Snoop Dogg promoted gang life, drugs, drinking and driving, misogyny, was charged with murder, and he is beloved and even just performed at the Super Bowl. Lots of artists have bad pasts. She became famous after doing all of that stuff, so it's easy for people to pay no mind to it. If she had done stuff like that while in the public spotlight, the reaction may be different. Plus, we're a celebrity-obsessed society. We tend to look past major flaws if someone is hot and/or talented or has good PR people working for them. There was video of R. Kelly peeing on a 14-year-old girl, and he made music for another 15 years before finally getting popped. Lizzo out here forcing people to eat pussy bananas. Aren't rappers supposed to be bad girls and boys? That doesn't sound like they are being held to a different standard. It sounds like they are being held to the same standard. Some people are widely known to have committed crimes. The police often don't prosecute because they don't have actual strong evidence. Those people are free to continue their lives and careers. Well, look at Andrew Tate and his disgusting comments. Now rape charges. That is current, not his past. Yet he has millions of mainly young impressionable guys who believe he is the epitome of manhood. Lack of a meaningful overlap between people who are offended by her actions and people who are her fans. The people who like her don't care or are unbothered by her actions. See Jason Aldean controversy as a similar situation. For Cardi B at least, you need evidence. Redditors keep ignoring that point. She says she did it. But people say things all the time. I can say I robbed Fort Knox. But unless the US government agrees it didn't happen, there's no evidence she drugged people. No claimant. No plaintiff. Cops aren't going to charge her based on her word. Especially when rappers are notorious liars. Lol. Rick Ross isn't in jail for saying he sold drugs. Because he didn't actually do it. Brad Pitt is accused of choking his wife out and verbally abusing some of the kids, two of which no longer speak with him, and you rarely hear people even bring it up. IDK. Jonathan Majors got a different type of treatment. There's so many people who we hold up on a podium and just ignore so many things they've done. Nicki Minaj has collabed with a groomer. She's married to a man with many allegations against him. Jay-Z groomed Beyoncé. We all just forgot about that. Kanye said he loved Hitler like 3 months ago and no one cares. Celebrities are the dumbest thing in our society. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't have that much sympathy for the stripper patrons. Man shrugging sucks, but my heart isn't breaking for them. She is making someone a whole heap of mullah. The fact that Cardi B is open about her past is what makes people like her. She comes across as real in a sea of fake news. That's her image. Cardi B is not actively setting up and robbing men. She grew up rough, so her life experiences are reflected in her music. All depends on their fan base. If their fans don't care, then it doesn't matter. You can't cancel someone who you didn't support in the first place. Chris Brown still has a thriving career. Look at Mike Tyson. People get cancelled because of something they say. But there he still is. After what he did. There is a stark difference between the person who presents themselves as good and squeaky clean, and turns out to be anything but, and the person who shows their flaws from the start and owns it. There's also a big difference between something you did years ago and something you did yesterday. Is the person you are today better than the person you were? That's what matters. Lol, so many celebs have gotten away with so much worse. Has any celebrity ever actually been cancelled? Is a Redditor still whining about a rapper talking shit? Time to move on, guys. I find it funny that the members of Guns N' Roses used to the exact same thing. And steal from a girl's purse while another member was having sex with her while she was drunk and drugged up. And nobody ever cared. But those same guys that loved Guns N' Roses and all those hard rock bands are now crying about Cardi B doing the exact same thing. I hate all the celebrities who lecture us on how we've got to save the planet and protect the environment, while they go jetting around the world, buying cars, houses, boats, jewelry, etc. I guarantee you they consume more resources in 1 year than I will in my entire life. To be clear, wealthy privileged men would proposition her for sex illegal, often cheating on their spouses. She didn't hurt them physically. She just took petty cash off of them. I don't think robbing a scummy rich guy ever makes you a bad person. It's funny that when Robin Hood does it he gets celebrated. And when a black woman does it she gets vilified. The way I see it, other celebrities have done far worse and never hear about it. Chris Brown still has a career, so. Victims, where are the people accusing Cardi B of wrongdoing? It's something she said, sure. But she a rapper. They are notoriously hyperbolic about crimes they've may or may not have committed. Find me 2 dudes willing to admit they got robbed trying to have sex with a stripper 2 decades ago. And people may feel differently. I dunno what you mean by allowed. If nobody pressed charges, she's not in jail. If people keep buying her tickets and albums, she'll keep selling them. If people keep making her profitable, other people will keep selling her. Who do you want to do what about it? America runs on violence. Is there actually any evidence that she did that though? Anyone come forward? I always thought she just said it to get PR. Different fanbase along with what others said. She is held to a different standard. But it's because she gets way more shit for her past than male celebrities. Especially white male celebrities. A big part of what gets people cancelled is hypocrisy. That just sounds like some shit Cardi would write a song about. So no one cares. Precisely how do you propose to enforce someone not being allowed to be in the limelight? How can you force others not to be interested in someone else's actions? Because she's a woman of color and her clients were men. Usually men from a higher social class and a different race. And therefore men with more power than her. I'm not justifying her actions. If the stories I've heard are true, what she did is both illegal and wrong. But is it as bad as, say, what Bill Cosby did? Not even remotely. The usual, you don't care about any ethics, you're just using it as an excuse to be sexist. Canceling only works if the majority of their fanbase isn't trashy enough to be okay with it. Also see Jason Aldean. Suppose Woody Allen drove a truck for a living. Or worked for an insurance company. How many people would have defended him grooming his stepdaughter then?